Welcome back to the siege of Kazan. Oh, we have to open the door. It is our duty, not duty, it's duty, to destroy the enemies. Okay, 1, 2, let's go. Oh, they're gone. Okay. Attack!
Ivan's army pushed across the Volga. They could expect stiff Tatar resistance.
Все приказы новые. Приказы новые суть.
Часо накажет. Возведу все, яко приказ. Будет ли сделано?
Есть сон, есть отдохновение. Оказывайте, сделаю все. Оказывайте, сделаю все.
Будете готовы к обране? Готовы.
I mean, we don't need archers and swordsmen, we could just pump out bowmen, but that would be kind of lame.
Внемлите, ожидайте на...
Внемлите, ожидайте на...
Слушайте все.
Слушайте, дали нам на...
Наше дело правое. Напред, не бойтесь. Тихо, напред. Войны ожидает. Новый наказ исполнено будет. Внемлите, воины. Воины! Получим наказ сейчас, воины! Всем напряг! Добродетель есть оружие! Доставаем! Победа есть! Город поверженный!
Muscovite forces moved into the Tatar pasture lands. They were getting close to Kazan proper.
Слушайте все. Будете готовы к обране. Наказы новые, суд.
помалу надо.
Не млите, воины!
Okay, we have enough archers now.
Наказы новые. Вот наказы исполнены будут. Но прежде будете готовы к обороне. Добродетель есть оружие! Исполнено будет. Оружие готовое! Наступаем! Орудия осадные готовы к брани!
Ivan's men were finally in sight of Kazan's walls. It was here previous sieges had failed, but Ivan swore this time would be different. Of the Muscovite war machine broke through Kazan's mighty outer wall. But the city had a backup defense. A second inner wall stood between Ivan and the Khan's personal guard. Kazan's inner wall crumbled before Ivan's forces. Within the inner city, the Khan's guard awaited.
Да погибнет лучники! Орудие усатные! Отступаем! Приуготовляйте оружие! Орудие наказы исполнены будут! Да, сейчас, конечно!
With a mighty war cry, the Khan's elite guards set upon Ivan's forces.
Орудие усатные! Готовы! Отступать! Орудие! Готовность полная! Слушайте наказ!
What the heck? Guys, this is not the way.
Внемлите, лучники! Приходим на место, Ина!
I mean, it's working, but... What?
Лучники, сделаю, яко накажете! Орудие усатные! Готовы! Воины, оружие готовое! Наступаем! Надо все делать! Даже сделаю, яко накажете! Наказы исполнены будут! Наши лучники, готовы на приспускову. Слушайте наказ. Решение есть мудрое. Получим наказ. Укаж, прихожу на место новое. Значит, будьте готовы. Тихо. Приказы новые будут сейчас. Наказы новые суть. Получим наказ. Напред, не бойтесь. Повинуюсь с честью. Всем долг свой. Тихо, лучники. Слушайте, воины.
What the...
Все приказ. Оружие готово к брани. Наступаем. Орудие усатные готовы к брани. Мы идем на брань. Исполнено будет. Орудие усатные готовы к брани.
Ivan and the Rus overwhelmed the Khan's guard and seized the city of Kazan. For the first time, Muscovy began to push its borders eastwards, setting its ambitions on claiming ever more distant territories for the Russian Empire.
Ivan the Terrible, Ivan IV's victory over the Kazan Khanate marked the beginning of Russian expansion across Asia. To commemorate this great battle, Ivan commissioned the construction of the most elaborate monument the world had yet seen. St. Basil's Cathedral in Moscow, or Basil's. But as Ivan campaigned farther and farther beyond his own domain, the cost of maintaining his spending was passed to the Rus people. Crippling taxation soon bred discontent in the provinces. Certain that rebellion was festering, Ivan dispatched his fearsome private police to hunt down his political opponents. Well, that reminds me of the Soviet Union. And convinced of their treachery, he also ordered the arrest or murder of any relatives who might one day challenge his own son's right to the throne. A generation later, Moscovich was left with no viable heirs. What? Arrest or murder any relatives who might one day challenge his own... He killed his own family? What the fuck? The centuries-long dynasty that began with Daniel of Moscow had come to a calamitous end. What the fuck?
Орудие
Okay.
Streltsy is the Russian word for shooters. And from the late 15th century, the armies of Moscow had included regular troops, armed with an arquebus, a standard firearm in all European armies at the time.
This is an arquebus. It's an early type of musket. To load it, you put a charge of black powder down the barrel. The ammunition is a lead ball.
A paper wad seals the charge.
Then both ball and wad are rammed home tight.
To shoot the gun, priming powder is placed in the pan.
The priming is lit by a match. Now, a match was originally a length of cord soaked in saltpeter, so that it burns slowly but continuously, and even in poor weather.
When lit, this sends a flame through a small hole at the base of the barrel, which lights the main charge. One of the great advantages of the arquebus was that the ammunition was inexpensive and easy to make. Molten lead was poured into a special mold. It cooled to a solid state in seconds, making it possible for vast quantities of lead balls to be produced. They were finished by trimming off the excess lead, which was known as a sprue. Streltsy received regular payment of both money and bread, and they lived with their families in purpose-built settlements called slobody. Streltsy were a new type of army, ordinary troops recruited from tradespeople and farm workers.
An early arquebus had an extremely heavy barrel.
To shoot it with accuracy, the gun had to be steadied, and Streltsy had a unique solution.
This is a type of axe called a bardiche, and for the Streltsy, it doubled as a gun rest.
Arquebus men were usually vulnerable to cavalry.
Even with experience, reloading takes time, and cavalry covers ground very speedily. Once you've shot, your position becomes perilous very, very quickly. However, with the scything power of a bardiche, a Streltsy has at least the chance to withstand a cavalry onslaught. It took a brave cavalryman to ride into a hail of bullets, but an even braver one to face the horror of these axes.
Over time, Moscow's armies recruited more and more men armed with guns. Inexpensive troops who changed the way war was waged. Ivan IV had broken through the walls of the ancient city of Kazan, and his army flooded the streets. They hunted down its defenders and their allies, and brutally sacked the city. Kazan had fallen to the unstoppable military might and strategic innovation of the Muscovite war machine. In the years that followed, Ivan IV waged war after war to bring vast new territories under Moscow's rule. By 1547, he had declared himself the first Tsar of all Russia. And his never-ending fight for territory set the course for those who ruled after him. Moscow was no longer a small fort on the banks of the Moskva River. It had survived centuries of Mongol oppression and wars with its neighbors. Its evolution from fort to city to state and to empire would continue. Moscow's rise transformed Russia into one of the world's greatest superpowers.